Welcome to the Holiday Podcast, where we sit over homemade challah at my dining room table on Friday afternoons. I'm your host, Tammy, a Jewish follower of Jesus, and it's great to be with you again today as we talk about the intersection of the Old and New Covenant. So last week, we talked about how ancient Judaism taught that the Sabbath is a weekly rehearsal, actually, for the future eternity when the Messiah will reign. And that this future time is referred to actually in the Talmud as the day when all will be Shabbat, when everything is Sabbath. And so each week we have this opportunity to experience just a foretaste of what that complete eternal Sabbath will be like. And I shared that I'm pondering what it could look like and feel like to really approach the Sabbath each week with that mindset. Well, this concept of rehearsing for eternal Sabbath, when everything will be Sabbath, really seemed to resonate with you all also. So I decided that today I'd continue with the second part of this ancient teaching. So not only is the Sabbath day considered a rehearsal for our future eternity, but also our pre-Sabbath preparation is supposed to be a rehearsal too. So rabbis taught that our preparation for the Sabbath, to get ready for the Sabbath, is supposed to be practice, a rehearsal, for how we should also be preparing for the arrival of the kingdom of God. So what does that mean? I mean, what does it mean to practice our preparation? Well, when we prepare for the Sabbath each week, we make sure we have the food we need already made. So my grandma used to make fried chicken and then put it in the refrigerator, and then we'd arrive and just eat it cold. And so then also any work or chores are already done in advance, so that on the day of the Sabbath itself, we can truly, fully rest with God. So it's the preparation that enables us to rest. And so this weekly pre-Sabbath preparation each week enables us to practice getting ready for an eternity when everything will be Sabbath. And so when I learned about this preparation piece as part of the rehearsal for preparing for the kingdom of Messiah, it immediately made me think of some things that Jesus taught about the coming kingdom of God. In fact, it was so important. He used several parables to teach about it, and a couple are in Matthew 25, and I'll read part of that to you. The kingdom of heaven at that time will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went out to meet the groom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were sensible. The foolish ones took lamps with them, but no oil, whereas the others took flasks of oil with their lamps. Now the bridegroom was late, so they all went to sleep. And it was the middle of the night when the cry rang out, "The bridegroom is here! Go out to meet him." The girls all woke up and prepared their lamps for lighting. The foolish ones said to the sensible ones, "Give us some of your oil because our lamps are going out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for both you and us. Go to the oil dealers and buy some for yourselves." But as they were going off to buy, the bridegroom came. Those who were ready went with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. Later, the other bridesmaids came. "Sir, sir," they cried, "let us in." But he answered, "Indeed, I tell you, I don't know you. So stay alert," Jesus said, "because you know neither the day nor the hour." And then Jesus goes on to talk about the 3 servants who were each given money from their master, and how 2 prepared for his return by investing what he'd given, while the other just buried it. And Jesus said that these parables were pictures of preparing for the kingdom of heaven, for that day when he arrives and makes everything Sabbath. And I have to imagine that Jesus's parables must have really resonated with his audience, because every week they prepared in advance for the Sabbath, getting oil for their lamps and also getting food for their families, so that they had everything they needed to rest in God's presence without, interruption or distraction. And because of this ancient teaching, they understood that this weekly preparation was in itself practice for the arrival of the eternal Sabbath, the kingdom of God. So this had to have resonated with them. And so now each week we also have an opportunity to tangibly practice what it takes to enter rest, and to view that preparation also as a foretaste of preparing to enter the shalom of the eternal kingdom, of eternal Sabbath. Of course, Jesus was making the point that in these parables that we should always be ready, not just once a week on the Sabbath, that our lives should be marked by an attitude of expectation of his arrival. And basically, that kind of practice is really just putting ourselves in a position to receive the Messiah, Jesus, without distraction or delay, no matter where we are or what we're doing. For us to put our faith in the rest and restoration that he alone ushers in. For us to invest our lives in a way that contribute to the flourishing of others, so that they too can experience that rest and restoration with us, with him. So on this Sabbath Eve, I was thinking that maybe we can each think about practical ways that we can prepare for the weekly Sabbath so that we can enter rest prepared. But also that we might ponder what it could look like to prepare our whole lives for the eternal age of rest. And that we'll each be encouraged and motivated and refreshed by this new approach to preparing for the Sabbath on this challah day.